We have a nuts Urban Decay this week. First is a story about a 60-person cruise fight. This is a fight on a cruise ship. I'm assuming Democrat-run cruise
Carnival.
ship.
It's Carnival Cruise.
Democrat-run Carnival cruise ship that spanned 5 floors and lasted for over an hour.
60 people involved in this fight. The fight started over a threesome. So this is like, just modern society. Like a threesome starts a 60-person brawl on an enclosed dance floor. And let's run the tape of this. This is like the nightclub. Everybody's in white. Everybody's dressed in white like it's their big, nice party. Security's doing nothing. Fight's going on. Security's not involved. Why would they be?
And apparently this fight went all the way on until the Coast Guard showed up. So they had to, they were fighting until another boat came. And people got off the boat and then onto this boat and then ended the fight.
Yeah, the Coast Guard, escorted the ship to port. And, the police had to talk to people. And it was like, well, where did this happen?
Here's some clips from before the fight popped off. Here's some twerking, some censored twerking. We had to censor this because one of the twerkers, I'd rather you say it.
One of the twerkers has a butt plug in, and it's visible.
It's a see-through dress. There's a butt plug in. We're going to censor that because we don't want to show that kind of stuff.
But that's the kind of degenerate atmosphere that was happening on this lovely cruise ship.
60-person fight. What a nice vacation.
What happened? Oh, and this is actually also at the end of their vacation. So this is day 7 of the 7-day cruise. You just went to the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos. It's a great time, You're probably slowing down, drinking, we got to get back to reality soon. Nope.
Yeah.
Brawl time. Threesome and brawl time.
The Caribbean's lovely in July, I'm sure.
That's so true. That's actually
riff-raff crowd.
You got to actually pay to go on spring break instead of, waiting for the summer months.
Take a winter trip to the Bahamas. I promise it's better. Next is a Portland fight. These homeless people are fighting in Portland. There's a lady and a guy. And this is actually proof that not every Urban Decay is black people. People complain about that sometimes.
Do they?
Well, especially in culture.
Oh, gotcha.
They'll say there's not much diversity in the Urban Decay section or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's I just send the clips out as they come in.
Send me a video of a white guy doing something crazy and it will get posted.
Yeah, we'll post it. And look at Cringe of the Week. Do we ever say, it's Cringe of the Week's all white people?
Exactly.
I don't say that.
Exactly. And then there's a different type of Urban Decay where it's needle, junkie, homeless. That's often white people a lot.
A lot.
The San Francisco junkies, actually San Francisco is a little different.
Half and half.
Because they hate Asians over there. No, but Portland, Seattle, those types, it's just white junkie street rats, stealing copper.
And we're never
Catalytic
saying,
converters.
here's white people, here's black people. We're just playing the clips as they come in. These Portland people are fighting. In the background, you see their little homeless encampment, those little houses.
It's not these people are fighting. It's this woman is backing up from an angry, shirtless man outside of his presumed home. She's just facing him for the sole reason of not getting sucker punched. And then after their little altercation where he knocks the thing out of her hand, it pans up to the utopia.
Yeah.
Mini house.
Here's everyone's mini house.
The city probably paid $300K per mini house here.
That's what I was going to say.
They grossly mismanaged it.
It's these mini houses. Why are we giving mini houses to homeless? Regular people need houses. And people would say, those houses are probably cheap to make. I'm sure it was some corrupt contract where those houses are $200K each.
I know. A nice fat government contract to your brother-in-law.
Yeah, we could make 10 for $2 million.
Yep.
It's
no
10
bid,
for 10
no
houses.
bid, no competition. Just all right, Mike, you got it.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on. So yes, we proved that Urban Decay isn't just black people. Safe.
I feel insulted that people would say that.
Me too. Moving on. Look at this senator candidate twerking at the beach. Oh man. So this lady who's twerking here is a candidate for Senate.
And I think she's a state senator, Rhode Island.
She's a state senator already in Rhode Island and running for re-election?
She's running for re-election, yeah.
And she's the one who earlier in the year, or maybe earlier.
She sponsored a bill.
She sponsored a bill trying to teach kids about sex.
Queer inclusive, pleasure-based sex ed.
Queer inclusive, pleasure-based sex. And you would hear that. Queer inclusive, pleasure-based sex for kids. Education for kids, right? So you'd hear that and you'd go, that doesn't sound right. What else is this person up to? What else do they find appropriate?
Yeah.
And then they're twerking at the beach.
On 4th of July. Because they don't care. There's nothing. Nothing
So,
matters.
And then you can kind of start connecting the dots, correlation. You come to some conclusions that maybe this person isn't the most responsible.
Not exactly qualified.
Not exactly like a candidate caliber, someone who should be in the House of Representatives or the Senate.
If those are the PR decisions you're making, what kind of law decisions are you making?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna guess not good.
Well, let's look into this person's other behavior and see if they're appropriate elsewhere.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Next,
Speaking of looking and drawing connections, you see that drag queen who got arrested for 25 counts of child pornography?
of course.
I just would be remiss if we didn't mention that.
Yeah.
Literal child predator drag queen. Oh, and it was like an award-winning drag queen, like who had counseled LGBTQ youth.
Yeah.
Counseled them.
It's usually how it goes. And if you want to pretend otherwise, you can just wait for the articles to come out.
Let them watch your kids.
Yeah. Moving on, Florida Chicken Man.
Yeah.
This is pretty good action.
Yeah, this was a funny one.
One day when Nick says the rooster followed him and attacked him.
His neck flares up and he's doing his thing and he's trying to jump up at me.
He was trying to get the animal away.
And I try to hit it, but the chicken's jumping up at me and I accidentally knocked it in the head. You know, call it a lucky shot, whatever.
But when Dave Felice came home, all he saw was his rooster dead in a ditch.
I said I'm calling JSO. I called JSO. JSO didn't do nothing. Then a couple of days later, I realized I could call animal control.
And in late June, James Nix went to jail for animal cruelty.
Next thing you know, he calls the chicken police on me.
While the neighbors continue the fight, Nick says he never should have been arrested.
Chickens are dying every day, people, at churches, Popeyes, and Kentucky Fried
That
Chicken.
sounds like our friend Grantley
That
there.
sounds like Grantley. Chicken. Yeah, never should have been arrested. Very much a Florida man situation.
Yeah.
This type of guy. When I was at Martha's Vineyard, I saw kind of similar. I saw a buzzed head beard guy with tattoos smoking a cigarette, yelling at some fat lady in pajama pants holding a baby. And I told my parents, I'm like, you see that? That's like everyone in Florida.
Yeah.
That's Florida. That's Florida right there. Moving on, this next story, I want to say is my favorite story of the episode, but it's the one I'm most excited to talk about.
Okay.
There were targets that are used in a police firing range in Michigan,
Yes.
and the targets are of people with guns or the same person, the same picture, but holding a cell phone or holding a baby, and they swap them out and have all these different scenarios, and then you shoot the targets of the bad guys with the guns. They took a picture of two of the targets, which were black people, and then released it, and were like, racist Michigan police shoots black people targets. They're targeting black people, whatever. And everyone's freaking out. Baller Alert posted on Instagram, and they said, at this point, racism is getting heavier and heavier, as if it's so hard. And then we read the article. 2 of the 12 pictures that you fire at, the
Target
targets,
variations.
2 of the 12 target variations are black, 10 are white. And that's in line with the
Percentage breakdown of the
percentage breakdown of the population.
city.
So of the city's demographics, that's the percentage breakdown. And so it's like, what? You can't have a black person in a target as a target?
I guess that's what they're saying now, which is insane.
Which is weird because
well, I'm going to actually say,
go ahead.
you can't use white people now if you're black.
Ooh.
So I just made that decision. That would be racist.
It's racist. You can't fire. And it's like, oh, are black people not doing any crimes and the police are training to attack black people? Let's pull up a random city in Michigan. I don't know. Detroit. Hey, Detroit. What is what percentage of the violent crimes are committed by black people?
Well, I have the Detroit murder rate by race here.
That works. Let's look at that.
Black and African American, 88.9%.
Interesting. 88.9%. So it's basically
That's
like,
high.
That's very high. That means that 10 out of the 12 targets should be black, not white, right?
9 of 10, basically.
9 of 10.
9 of 10.
If you go based on the demographics of people committing the crimes.
Yeah.
But it's racist to shoot any black targets. You can only shoot white targets, even though the people committing crimes at higher levels than their racial breakdowns in society are black people. Almost 90% of the murders in Detroit are done by black people. Why wouldn't 90% of the targets be black people?
I don't know. That's what
you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
That's racist. Racism gets heavier and heavier every day. It's like, hey, buddy, the target practice the police are taking is not the problem in Michigan. I would say the 90% black murder rate is.
Yeah. If I'm weighing the two, one's pretty heavy, one's pretty light. One's about a piece of paper, the other's about people dying.
Yeah.
So yeah, the racism's heavy, but
racism's heavy.
So is the death toll.
And then the head of the police had to apologize and say, like, we're taking a look at this. This is not acceptable. Blah blah blah. And it's just like, oh, you can't make black people a target. You can't treat them like any other race, specifically by how they're broken down racially in society. So if it's 20% of the population, 20% of the targets are black people. You can't do that anymore.
One of the funny things is they have these, like, the same guy, like the model or whatever, the guy who's the image they're using, the black guy. They have him holding like a can of soda and then like a cell phone too. Mm-hmm. So it's like supposed to be like a training exercise where you go, no, don't shoot. He's got a cell phone.
Yeah.
And so it's like if you had a bunch of white cops just shooting at the guy with the cell phone, I'd be like, all right, what are they up to? But it's like, dude,
yeah, you shoot the black target no matter what he's got.
Yeah, exactly. That would be racist.
And then the white guy with the gun, you go, hey, what's that gun for? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Put it in
Sir, put it down. Yeah.
The guy, he's got a cell phone. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on? It's the racism's getting heavy. Baller alert. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I like when they do stuff like this because it just makes more people go, huh, they had the percentages right. You just took a picture of it and then you caused a stir online. So I like it. It actually exposes people. Like if that's racism getting heavy, then America's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, you're all good. It's over.
These people want to be victims so bad. I guess they just want to really blame white people for, I guess, their quality of life or something.
I guess so.
It must be racism holding me back, not the fact that I can't do like finance.
Yeah.
It must be racism, not the fact that I don't know SQL, or I can't just be an engineer. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, exactly. The murder rate, the 88% or whatever committed by black people, that's not a problem that we should look into. It's the police training. We should make the police.
It's the police paper training. I'd be like, yo, are the police hitting it? Are the police hitting the target? Imagine if it was like all over the place and it's like, dude, they haven't even hit the target. It's like, that's a problem. There's so many more levels of real problems before who's the guy on the piece of paper.
It's so true. Well, that's what people are worried about, and that's why we have a podcast, because there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to make fun of, I guess. Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so we're moving on. We're getting into our next clip, which is actually very sad. It's the crying World War II vet who basically realized the country isn't what he fought for.
And people don't realize what they have. They bitch about it. They do. And then nowadays, I am so upset that the things we did and the things we fought for and the boys that died for it, it's all gone down the drain. Our country's gone to hell in a handbasket.
You're going to kill this guy because you want to be trans. You're going to kill this veteran because you want to pretend to be a lady.
Yeah, you're going to kill him from heartbreak.
Literally. And it's like everyone says you have to be nice to trans people because they're suicidal. What about our veterans?
Yeah.
Who didn't fought for no lady to go act like a man?
This guy watched his boys die.
So you can go put on a lady outfit and say, I'm a girl, call me a girl now. What about our veterans? Disrespectful.
Yeah.
Sad for the World War II guys. It's like 2016 to 19 as an old veteran would have been like a time, like, I don't want to say a good time to die. It's like kind of a dark statement. But it's like if you're an old man veteran and you saw Trump take over and America get on the right course.
Getting back to our values.
You can kind of go in peace.
Yeah.
now these guys, whoever's left from World War II, is seeing what the country is, and it's like you're gonna die sad, which is horrible.
Yeah, poor guy.
We love our veterans.